Howdy y'all, Jackson here with Trick Studios, and I'm back at you with another episode of the Madden Expansion Pack. Today's episode is for running backs, both halfbacks and fullbacks. Our first expansion player comes from a football family, Chris Gronkowski, brother of Dan, Glenn, and of course Rob. He started his collegiate career at Maryland with his brother Dan before eventually transferring to Arizona to be with his brother Rob. After going undrafted in 2010, he would spend 4 seasons in the NFL, each with a different team. First Dallas, then Indianapolis, then Denver, and finally San Diego, where he only lasted an off-season. Playing sparingly, he did account for 1 career touchdown at the NFL level, during his rookie year, but he never amounted to much production, not even collegiately, as his best season was his 2008 junior year, in which he caught 8 passes for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. Measuring 6'2", 215 pounds, the 31-year-old 4-year veteran fullback comes in at a disappointing 55 overall. His only real use is as a gimmick player and name notoriety, as his brother is a former All-Pro. Next up, we have another good one, former Michigan quarterback Denard Robinson. Robinson was a 3-year starter with the Maize and Blue, racking up over 4,000 yards on the ground using his great athletic ability. He was drafted in the 5th round of the 2013 NFL Draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team he'd spent his entire 4-year NFL career with. He saw limited action throughout his career in Jacksonville, with the most coming during his 2014 sophomore campaign, where he tallied up 582 yards and 135 carries for 4 touchdowns. He also hauled in 23 receptions for an additional 124 yards. The 6', 215-pound former quarterback turned halfback comes in at a very respectable 79 overall, especially when you consider the 27-year-old will be spending his 5th season of professional football not in the NFL, but the newly formed AAF. Our third expansion player is a former first-round draft pick, a bust if you wish, Trent Richardson. The Alabama product spent 3 very productive years there before declaring for the 2012 NFL Draft. He'd be selected 3rd overall by the Cleveland Browns, but would quickly wear out his welcome, being traded to Indianapolis during his sophomore season, where he would also be let go a year later. He then would spend 2 seasons trying to get back on a full roster, first with the Raiders and then the Ravens, but both were unsuccessful. He would then find a little success at the end of the 2017 CFL season with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, before electing to return to America and wait for the commencement of the inaugural AAF season. The 5'9", 230-pound, 28-year-old halfback has played 5 seasons in the NFL and is certainly looking for another, measuring at a 71 overall, and the sole power back in this expansion pack. Our next player was Richardson's replacement in Saskatchewan this season. Yes, that's right, it's Auburn product Trey Mason. He spent 3 seasons in Auburn, tallying up just under 3,000 yards before declaring for the 2014 NFL Draft. He'd be selected in the 3rd round by the St. Louis Rams and put up solid numbers in his rookie season, 765 yards on 179 carries and 4 touchdowns, but unfortunately it was not enough to deter the Rams from selecting Todd Gurley the following years, causing his numbers to drop immensely. Mason would pretty much go AWOL over the next 2 seasons until showing up in Saskatchewan for the 2018 season. There he would rebound, picking up 806 yards on 160 carries, along with 3 touchdowns. The 5'8", 207-pound, 3-year veteran can certainly rebuild his career as he comes in at an 80 overall. Absolutely usable as a feature back, especially when you consider he's only 25 years old. Our last expansion player would certainly ruffle some feathers, as he was playing NFL football just up until a few weeks ago, and that is, of course, Kareem Hunt. The 5'10", 200-pound Toledo product was in the midst of a very successful sophomore campaign, tallying up 824 yards on 181 carries and 7 touchdowns, as well as hauling in another 7 on 26 receptions. If you can handle the heat, it certainly wouldn't hurt your team to go ahead and sign this 23-year-old 92 overall. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to go ahead and add these players to your roster. If you liked the video, please leave a like, a dislike if you did not, and a subscription if you have not already. If there are any players you'd like to see in this series, or you saw a mistake in the rating for these players, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. Bye.